Hey guys, coming at you from a different location today. I had to come over to my folks' house, and this is my old room over here. The dryer that we have at our house died, so had to come over and do a couple loads of clothes, make sure everybody had clean stuff to wear. Anyway, so I did make it by the comic shop, and I just got through reading my new stuff that I picked up today, so let's go ahead and dig into it. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, so the first issue is Bear Pirate Viking Queen, issue 3 of 3. It completes the story with this wonderful art by Jonathan Marks Baravachia and a story by Sean Lewis. And it continues that artwork that reminds me so much of Bill Sienkiewicz, but at the same time, the story is just as strong. The story is talking about the struggle of life, and how life shouldn't be a struggle. It shouldn't be about being the best or the fastest or having the most. It should be about being free and being you and being able to sell other people on who you are, not who they want you to be. So that artwork is absolutely gorgeous. It's amazing. Let's see if I can find it here. Excuse me. It's just talking about being free. It's talking about how beautiful the world was when it was quiet, before queens and pirates came to these lands and took what was beautiful, what was the queen, which was the land, and subverted it and made themselves gods and kings and queens. And the Vikings sought to be gods, and the queens sought to be deities. So to be honest, even though this was simply 3 issues, it's a really good palate cleanser, and it's one of the best stories I've read in a very, very long time. Bravo, Image, for putting this out, and bravo to Sean Lewis and Jonathan Marks Baravachia for providing this excellent, excellent story. I picked up Marvel Secret Wars issue number 7, the facsimile. So that one I'll be talking about as soon as I get it back with its brothers and sisters over at our house. I have 7 of the 12 issues thus far. This book came out today, so I can't wait to talk about it under Greatest Hits. Next up is The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue 92. This is the introduction of the character Jesus, who is pretty much like a male version of Michonne, because he is bad, bad, bad news with that sword. So Jesus comes and gets introduced in this issue, and he talks about bringing Rick and company to his set of survivors. And Rick thinks that Alexandria is the only dog and pony show that is left, and comes to find out very, very quickly, Jesus said, "You're in for a big surprise. You think you're the only people that's left in this world? Not by a long shot." Probably the second best book I read this week was Conan the Barbarian, issue 12, by Jim Zub, Rob De La Torre, and Rodriguez. This tells the story of the birth and beginning of Thulsa Doom, the man that would become Thulsa Doom. Or I guess I should say the force of nature that would become Thulsa Doom. This artwork is just gorgeous. I even hate to really sit here and try to talk about stuff, because look at this sunset. Look how these vignettes, they just move naturally from one image to the next. That's crazy. This is one of the best books on the shelves. Conan is so much more than sword and sorcery and might makes right. He is such a well thought out character with a diverse world in which to draw both heroes and villains as well as acquaintances. But this is the beginning of the story of the Black Stone in earnest, because Thulsa Doom is the holder of the stone, and the stone actually gave him life beyond death. I can't say much more about this. I'm extremely excited by this book. Every time it comes out, it's one of the best ones. Rob De La Torre studied at the feet of John Buscema. His character work is impeccable. His storytelling and his line work is straightforward and strong. So I can't wait until we get... where is it? The Battle of the Black Stone, which is going to cover not only comics, but as far as I know, a novel as well. So I can't wait for that multimedia tour de force to hit. Heroic, you guys have done an excellent job, along with Jim and Rob and company. This book is an absolute banger every time it comes out, and I am so happy that I picked it up with that first issue. And the last book that I picked up this week is Spider-Man Reign 2 by Carrie Andrews with Brian Reber. This picks up after the finale of Reign Part 1. Peter is captured. MJ has passed because of his radioactivity in his blood. She became sick and she died. But he still sees her in his dreams. This is going to be a story, it appears, to be Wilson Fisk, who had been incarcerated and drained of his power for so many years because he was stuck on an IV drip and nothing else. Looks like it's going to be an older Peter versus the Kingpin, or what's left of the Kingpin. And also, Miles Morales ties into this story as well. Let me show you some of this artwork. It's cartoony, but it's got some reality to it at the same time. You get to see that Mary Jane is still in his mind just as beautiful as she always was, even if she had gained a few pounds as she had aged. There's some really horrific type of stuff right here as Peter realizes he's dreaming. And then we get introduced to a character named Kitty Cat. So we're not really sure whether that is Felicia Hardy's daughter or who it is, but she's explosive, to say the least. So I'm pretty excited about this book. I didn't know it was coming until a couple of weeks ago, so it was really a surprise that came out of left field. But look at the colors on this cover. Just look at the coloring on it. Really, really beautiful stuff. Alright guys, so it was a short haul this week and a smaller haul, but I got some really awesome stuff that I was excited to read. What did you guys pick up? What did you read? What did you give a chance to? Earlier this week I actually picked up Grommets 1 and 2. I've read issue 1. It took me right back to the 1980s. It was an awesome story. We'll talk about that a little bit more when I get time. But what are you guys reading? What have you picked up? What are you checking out? And what are you giving a shot? So if you hadn't liked and subscribed, please do that. Keep this channel growing. We are almost at that 100 mark, so some people are going to win some books awfully soon. Thanks for checking us out, guys, and we will catch you on the flip side.